I wish to speak to recommendation 6, which goes to the government response to the recommendation by the committee that the government establish a Joint Statutory Committee on Defence to supersede and enhance the defence-related functions currently undertaken by the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade. And the intention here is that this should be established in a manner similar to the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security, which I've been a member of that committee for some 9 years, as well as the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade, and I noticed some remarkable differences in outcome for the portfolio. So with our national security agencies, what we see is a remarkable stability in the funding and direction, regardless of which side of politics is in government. Why? Because there is informed debate based on the classified information that those agencies need to deal with, and so we end up with the more conservative elements of the conservative side of politics and the left-wing elements of the Labor Party, but in an appropriate environment with access to the appropriate information. There is serious debate, thrashing out issues to find the common ground and reach an agreed position on the way forward. And until very recently, I think it's fair to say, the PJCIS has never had a dissenting report, and that has delivered for the agencies and for the nation a remarkable stability. The same cannot be said of defence, and in fact the origins of this concept go back to a report of the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade called Contestability and Consensus, where an almost identical recommendation was included. Why was that included? Because we see independent commentators after a change of government, and I won't say which government, just so we keep the partisanship out of this, but given that both sides of politics say how important defence is, these commentators ask why it is that defence is now an incoherent mess approaching a train wreck of colossal proportions, and that investment is badly stalled and the defence budget is an unsustainable mess. Now, the reason is that bipartisanship in the defence space tends to be the government of the day saying X, and often oppositions saying, oh, we agree, so there's not a shard of daylight between. That's not bipartisanship. That's Me Tooism. Bipartisanship has to have informed debate to contest the ideas. And if you want to see the origins of that notion, back in April of 2013 on the ASPI Strategist website, an article called Defence, the Most Fundamental Task of Government, followed by one in 2017, Some Things Should Be Above Politics, show the origin to why this occurred. And I just want to say thank you to the fact that when I was the chair of that committee and tasked the Defence Subcommittee to look into this, Senator Linda Reynolds, followed by Senator Jim Molan, took this forward and released that report, which has kicked off this thinking, which has led to the recommendation in the War Powers report, and the government has accepted that and brought it in. I think it will be a fundamental change for the better for the governance of Australia's defence. I look forward to the establishment of the committee and hopefully being able to participate in its deliberations in the national interest.
Thank you, Senator Fawcett.